Someone told me in yesterday's video not to wear my hat backwards, so purely because they told me not to wear it backwards, I'm gonna wear it backwards again. But good morning and welcome back to the vlog. It's apparently we've got a storm this morning called Storm Brian. So Brian, shout out to you, cheers for the storm. I really don't appreciate it. But I'm just currently out this morning walking Duke. Bailey, the little puppy, he isn't with me because he's not allowed to walk very far yet. He's not had like all his injections or whatever puppies need to get done to allow them to go outside and stuff. So we just got Duke, the horse, the beast. Like, I think Lexi's quite big when I'm back at home. You've all seen Lexi, my Labrador. I think she looks quite big. I come here to my girlfriend's house and Duke, her dog, is just like on a whole nother level. He's huge. Over and over, I'm stuck in this road. It's like I'm caught inside the trap and I got nowhere to go. I noticed as I move, I get better as I go. So tell them I won't stop till everybody on the floor. Look, over and over, I'm stuck in this road. It's like I'm caught inside the trap and I got nowhere to go. I noticed as I move, I get better as I go. So tell them I won't stop till everybody on the floor. Look. So later on this afternoon, I'm taking Georgia back to the train station. She's heading back off to university, but this morning we're gonna head over to her grandparents' house to just spend some time with them. And Bailey's gonna come with us too. So we gotta get this big dog cage into the boot of this Golf, which, to clear up any confusion, this isn't actually mine. This isn't actually my new car. I'm just borrowing this currently. Alright, what do we reckon? So it's wide enough, it's definitely wide enough. If we take this lid thing off and put the back seats down, this should go in no problem. This is it, the moment of truth. Is Bailey coming with us or is he staying at home? Easy. Ideally it would go in lengthways, which it will fit just. However, that means that the door won't open, which might be a bit of a problem. Oh well, that'll do. Alright, I need you to sit here like a good boy and don't do anything stupid. Like, please don't shoot my car or be sick. Good boy. Are you happy? Are you happy? Okay, update time. I've just taken Bailey's cage out of the car. We spent a couple of hours at Georgia's grandparents' house. I've literally just taken Georgia back to the train station and now we're back home. We're back home, aren't we, mate? What's the plans for this afternoon? I keep forgetting now how early it gets dark. Hopefully we've got a few hours of daylight left. I'm gonna am I boring you? I'm gonna put my kit on and head out on my bike. It seems that this Storm Brian thing has passed and it's quite a nice day now. Quite a nice day. What are you eating again? Okay, so here now is the current situation. It's 4:36 in the afternoon and it goes dark at, iPhone users, I'm sorry. Hey Siri, what time is sunset tonight?
Sunset will be at 17:52 today.
Which means we've got about 1 hour and 20 minutes, just under 1 hour and 20 minutes until the sun sets. I intend on using every single minute of daylight, but we're ready, shoes are tied, let's crack on. Normally, oh, there's 2 bikes there. 2 bikes. I might go back later and pick them up. Normally I would be like stressing about not being able to go out training early or like getting a decent training session in, but I'm still only training like casually at the minute. Tomorrow, which is the start of next week, Monday, that's the day it's all gonna properly kick off, where I'm gonna be like actually training properly. I think I said this like 2 or 3 times now. But tomorrow is when I'm going to properly start back training again. So I'm just going to do an hour tonight at zone 2 to get the legs just turning and ready ahead of the start of the base phase. And I mean, I'm going to get into this in more detail in another video, but I kind of structure my program, my training program, in a pyramid-like fashion. So the early season, which is like now, is the base period, which is like the flat long bottom bit, which is where you build your base level of fitness up. And then as we start to progress closer to the season, the intensity will start to increase. Raising the pyramid, the higher we are in the pyramid, the higher the form. However, the reason I like the pyramid analogy is because you can't build the top layer of fitness, the highest level of form, without having the base and the foundations underneath. But yeah, none of that's relevant today because I'm just doing an hour. Rolling through the lanes before the sun sets. I've got to say it, after this whole storm thing, I'm really happy I've come out riding this evening. Like, the sky is just insane, but there's literally no clouds in the sky at all. Beans on toast always just seems like an appropriate meal after a ride. It's healthy and it's quick, which are like the two most important factors when you come home from a bike ride. You just want to eat something quick and something that you know is going to be good for you. Beans on toast, mate. Get on the hype. The lighting is really, really bad in here. But anyway, I wanted to sit down and talk to the camera right now because this is like the time of year where people start to invest in their winter training. People start thinking about the 2018 season and the preparations that they need to make for the 2018 season. And one thing that I think is just often overlooked due to like this, I don't know, hard man persona, maybe slightly boastful persona. This is something that I'm doing with the riders that I coach, myself, and also I think you viewers, like any serious competitive cyclist, you should also do this. Now, when someone asks you or me for your FTP, your functional threshold power, you instantly say the highest power you've ever achieved, right? However, me and most competitive cyclists really knock back their training, either have a few weeks completely off the bike and no training whatsoever, or just some weeks of like no structured training, just some easy rides and stuff. So therefore, naturally, your fitness is significantly decreased. Even in such a short span of 3 or 4 weeks, your top end form significantly reduces. Anyway, the reason I'm talking about this is because when you start back training and you're doing, I don't know, base miles at zone 2, if you are using the numbers off a functional threshold power from mid-July, where you're top of your game, you're absolutely peaking, the middle of the race season, then when it gets to October, that zone 2, because you're a lot less fit than you were in July, that zone 2 might actually be more of a zone 3. So you could be in your head on your power meter just riding along at zone 2, 4 or 5 hours each day, or however long you have got to train on your bike, when in actual fact you're riding at zone 3, or even in some cases zone 4. Now this could be a problem, especially in early winter, because you know you'll get to the new year and you'll just be completely fatigued and completely burnt out. And this is something that I actually suffered from last winter. So to prevent this from happening, what you want to do is, like, once you get back into training, like a bit of structured training, 2 or 3 weeks, just once your body becomes used to that motion of training again, and your body start to get used to the stress of training, what I will do, and what I recommend you to do as well, is to re-perform your FTP test, a 20-minute power test. What you will find is a much lower FTP, and therefore your zones will alter slightly. So previously, if you're riding around at zone 2, which might have been 240 watts, you might notice that with your like unfit FTP, that zone 2 will drop down to maybe 220 watts. Now this also benefits later on in the winter when you start to do, you know, zone 3, zone 4, even zone 5 efforts, because they are more like specific to what your actual fitness is at that current moment in time. I hope that makes sense. And then the idea is, come January, you will perform another FTP test, reset your zones again, and then finally at the start of the race season, complete another 20-minute FTP test, and again rejig the zones accordingly. And this way you'll find you'll get a much more effective winter. Training will be much more specified to like your body and to your actual capabilities. I hope that half made sense and you kind of understand my thoughts and opinions on that. But guys, that's going to be the end of today's video. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, I'd really appreciate a thumbs up, and as always, I'll see you tomorrow at 5 PM